Welcome back. In this training video, I am going to show you how to never run out of clients so you can get leads on demand. If you sell coaching, consulting, a service, or even a product, the job is always the same. To get a steady flow of the right people coming to you and paying for what you have to offer. Getting clients isn't luck, it's a system. And once you build it, you can proactively use it to attract your ideal clients instead of waiting and hoping. We will start with why your client flow is inconsistent. You're either busy or you're broke, and the shift that fixes this. Then, who you're actually trying to reach, because you cannot generate leads when your message is aimed at everyone. From there, the only 4 ways anyone has ever gotten a client, how to pick the channels that fit your business instead of spreading yourself too thin, and how to earn attention by giving before you ask. Then the channel that most founders tend to leave to chance, referrals, and how to build the kind of authority that makes leads come to you. I've given paid ads its own chapter because if you have the means, it's literally the fastest way to grow and it deserves a proper, honest conversation. We will finish by turning all of it into a system that you can measure and then look at the exact steps that you can take this week. By the end, you should be able to generate clients on purpose and finally stop asking the scariest question in business, which is, where is my next client coming from? Let's get into it. The founder who waits. This is how most founders get clients, and be honest about whether this is you. You do great work and you hope that work gets you noticed. The clients you do get mostly turn up by chance, and if I asked you where the next one was coming from, you couldn't really tell me. So when you're busy, maybe delivering for the clients that you've managed to secure, you just go quiet and stop looking for more. Eventually, the work, it dries up. And then you find yourself discounting your prices or taking on clients you would normally turn down just to stop that bleeding or to keep the income coming in. You might even start to wonder if the market is simply oversaturated. The honest truth is you don't have a reliable way to bring clients in. You're just hoping that they show up. And your current strategy probably works right up until the point it doesn't. You started your business to do the work itself. I get it. The coaching, the consulting, the thing that you're genuinely good at. Nobody ever starts a business because they love finding clients. So you avoid the part that comes before the work, actually getting people interested in the first place. You lean on whatever brought the last few clients in and you hope it keeps going. And the one thing that would fix all of this is the very thing that you keep avoiding. I've learned this now running multiple businesses where keeping new people coming through the door was the whole game. In my e-commerce business that did £1.8 million in revenue, all of this came from learning how to reliably turn advertising into paying customers. In my career consulting business as well, I grew an audience of over 125,000 followers because getting in front of people was the entire job. 2 completely different business with the same lesson underneath them both. I can tell you plenty of more talented founders than me have gone under because they couldn't just keep new clients coming in. That flow is what actually decides it, and it's a system you can build. Why your client flow is inconsistent. So why does this keep happening? Why does the work come in waves instead of a steady stream? There are 2 main reasons, and both of them are fixable once you can see them. The first is delay. Getting a client today is almost never the result of something that you did today. It usually comes from outreach, the content that you posted, the conversation you had many weeks or even months ago. So when you get busy delivering your offer and you stop putting yourself out there, nothing bad happens straight away. The work you already won carries you for a while, you get money coming in, you're happy. It's only a month or 2 later when the pipeline empties that you feel the impact of your inactivity. That delay is what makes it so hard to spot. You are never punished in the moment for stopping. The pain is not an immediate thing, so it's always easy to stop again and again. Here is the simplest way to see it. Say it takes a prospect 2 months from first hearing about you to actually paying you. The client landing this month came from the work that you did 2 months ago, and the work that you skipped this month will show up as an empty calendar or lack of booking 2 months from now. The effort and the payoff are only separated by that gap, which is why a quiet week or even a quiet month with no money coming in feels like it just hit you out of nowhere. The second reason is even more dangerous because it can take you to zero overnight. most founders just tend to get all their clients from one place. Everything either comes through referrals or just through one social platform or even through that one person that keeps sending people their way. While that source is working, life is good. You never have to think about it. But imagine the referrals slow down or the platform just changes how it works, or that one person that keeps giving you client just moves on. Then your client flow can stop dead in the water with no warning. You go from very comfortable to nothing in no time at all because you built your foundations on shaky ground. When you put these two together, you have your answer. A delay that can hide the cause and a single source that can disappear without any warning whatsoever. The systems in this video are built to fix both. So your client flow becomes steady and very predictable, coming from more than one place with no single thing that can switch it off overnight. Getting clients is a system. First, I need to change how you think about getting clients and getting leads. Most founders never feel in control of where their clients or leads are coming from. When they have a good month, they can't really say why it happened. So they have no way to make it happen again and again. And when things go quiet, they find something to blame. They just assume the market is oversaturated or that it's just a slow time of the year. And they just sit and wait for it to pick back up on its own. As long as you treat getting clients and leads as something outside your control, you will only ever do lead generation and marketing in a panic when you have no money coming in. But it's not outside your control at all. A client is the end result of a process that you can build and repeat. If you do the same handful of things every single week, like the right outreach, the right content in front of the right people, clients and leads should just come through at a fairly predictable rate. It won't be exact, but it will be close enough for you to plan your month around it. Once you can roughly predict what your effort produces, you have a system. Until then, you're just guessing and you're just hoping. And once you treat it as a system, everything just gets easier. You can do it on purpose in a calm and planned way all year round. When something stops working, you can find the exact step that is failing and fix that one thing. And because a system is just a set of repeatable steps, you can eventually teach it to someone else and take it off your own plate. You can only do that if it's a real system though. If you believe getting clients comes down to luck, you'll be stuck doing it yourself forever. We don't want that because there is nothing to hand over. And once you've built a working system, you never have to worry that going heads down to deliver for your current clients will leave you with nobody new lined up behind them. The system keeps bringing people in while you work. This is what being in control of your own client flow actually means. You can't generate leads if you talk to everyone. Before you pick a single channel or spend a single pound on ads, you have to get clear on one thing. Exactly who you're trying to reach. From my experience, trying to reach everyone at once is why a lot of lead generation fails before it even starts. When your message has to fit everyone, it gets so general that nobody connects with it. Your ideal clients should always feel like they are being spoken to. Take a line like, I help businesses grow. Anyone that reads that has to stop and figure out whether it's for them or not. And people won't do that work. So it's easy for them to just scroll past you. Now compare it to, I help service-based founders doing $500,000 build a sales system that runs without them. That one speaks to a specific person, and the right person that reads it and feels like you're actually describing their exact situation. This is something marketing expert Donald Miller has built an entire methodology around. In his book, Building the Story Brand, it puts it in one line. If you confuse people, you lose them. Being that specific does mean most people will know straight away that it's not for them, and that is exactly what you want. The few people that it's for are the only people who were ever going to pay you in the first place. I made the same exact mistake in my career consulting business. I got genuinely good at a service and I built a large audience around it. The problem was the audience itself. I had chosen to help people looking for work, and people looking for work usually don't have spare money at all. So I ended up with plenty of attention and very few people that could actually afford my offer. You can be brilliant at every channel that I'm going to explain in this video, but if you point it at all the people that can't afford you, none of it ever turns into money. So before you touch a single channel, get clear on exactly who you want and the one problem that you solve for them. Everything gets easier from there. The only 4 ways to get a client. Once you accept that getting clients is a system, the obvious question is what actually goes into it. The good news is there aren't many parts to learn. For all the tactics and platforms that people throw at you, there are really only 4 ways anyone has ever gotten a client. This is something Alex Hormozi has built his whole approach to lead generation around. In his book, The $100 Million Leads, after spending hundreds of millions of his own money getting customers, he breaks down the whole thing into this exact 4. Once you can see them all, you can stop chasing every shiny new tactics that comes along. The first is warm outreach. That's reaching out directly to people who already know about you, like past clients, people in your network, anyone you've got a real connection with. The second is cold outreach. That's reaching out to people who don't know you yet by email, direct messaging, or even a phone call. The third is content. That's posting things of value in public so strangers can find you and slowly start to trust you. And the fourth is paid ads, which simply means paying a platform to put you in front of the people that you want. And that really is it. Every client you've ever signed, everyone you ever will, comes through one of these 4. 2 of them, warm and cold outreach, means you go out and start the conversation yourself. With the other 2, content and ads, you have to put something out there and let the right people come to you. Every clever tactics that you've ever seen is just a version of one of these 4, no matter what it's called. That's good news for you because it means you only need to get good at one of them to start bringing in clients. So which one should you start with? Well, that depends on your business, and that's what we're going to figure out next. Pick your channels, don't spread yourself thin. The moment that you see these 4 ways of getting clients and leads, the temptation is to go and do all of them at once. That's a mistake. If you spread yourself across all 4 of them, you won't give any single one enough attention to actually work. You end up doing a bit of everything, you get very little back from any of it, and you decide that lead generation doesn't work for your type of business when really you just never give one channel a proper go. There's a smarter way to go about all of it, and it comes from a book called Traction by Gabriel Weinberg and Justin Mears. They studied how companies actually grow, and what they found is that at any one time, a single channel tends to drive most of your growth, and the whole game is finding which one it is. Their method, which they call the bullseye framework, is very simple. You test a few channels very cheaply, you watch which one actually brings people in, then you put most of your energy into that one and let the rest go for now. And testing doesn't need to be complicated either. Pick the 2 or 3 channels most likely to reach your buyers and give each one proper go for a fixed amount of time, deciding upfront how much effort or money that you're going to put in. Then watch what comes back. Say you commit to 20 cold emails in a week for a month. If that brings you 2 to 3 book calls, the channel is working and it's worth doubling down on it. If a full month of real effort brings in nothing, it's probably not your channel right now, and you move on to the next one. So to start, pick one channel, 2 at the very most. Choose based on 2 things: where your ideal clients already spend most of their time and what you can realistically keep doing every single week without it falling apart. If your buyers are business owners who mostly spend their time on LinkedIn and writing comes easily to you, then content on LinkedIn is your one channel. Whatever you pick, just go deep on it and stay consistent until it's genuinely working before you even think about adding a second channel to it. A channel will only ever start paying off once you've done it long enough and well enough to get good at it. And the reality is you can't get good at 5 things at the same time. Doing one thing well will always be better than doing 5 things poorly. Give before you ask. Whatever channel you pick, there is one principle that decides whether it works for you or not. You give value before you ask for anything. Most founders do it the other way around. You've probably been on the receiving end of this. Someone connects with you on LinkedIn, and before you've even said hello back or even connected, they're already in your DMs pitching their services to you. You don't know them and you never ask, so you just ignore it. We all do it. I do it every single day. That same instant resistance is what your prospect always feel when you lead with the ask. This is exactly what Seth Godin was getting at back in 1999 in his book, Permission Marketing. His argument was that you can't just interrupt people and demand their attention anymore. You have to earn it by being useful first. So you lead with something genuinely useful. Maybe that is an answer to the exact question that they are stuck on, or even a quick win they can put to use today. And once you've actually helped someone, they are far more open to hearing what else you do. This is what a lead magnet really is. You give someone a genuine, valuable win upfront, something like a short guide that solves one specific problem or even a free audit in exchange for their email or a reply. By the time you make an offer, you've already proven you can help them, so it lands like a natural next step rather than a cold pitch out of nowhere. A lot of big companies, including the ones I've worked for in the past, understood the value of this. It is common practice to send people a product or even let them use it for free for 30 days. In my own business now, I find the one problem a business is struggling with, and I just solve it for them. No questions asked. Solve a real problem for someone first, even a very small one, and the conversation about working together gets a whole lot easier. Referrals are your warmest channel. There is one channel that brings in the warmest leads you will ever get, and almost every founder and business tend to leave it completely to chance. This is referrals. When a happy client sends someone your way, that person shows up already trusting you. They are already half sold before you've even said a single word because someone they know has vouched for you. The numbers back it up. Nelson, one of the biggest consumer research firms in the world, found that 88% of people trust a recommendation from someone that they know more than any other form of marketing. No amount of ad spend or clever content can buy that kind of trust. It only comes from a real person putting their name behind yours. I am always surprised by how many founders and businesses just sit back and hope referrals shows up on their own. Sometimes one does show up, but you can't plan a business around something you're leaving entirely to chance. It doesn't work like that. This is the whole idea behind a book by John Jangst called The Referral Engine. Its point is that referrals don't have to be down to luck at all. You can build them into the way that you run your business, so they come in steadily instead of once in a blue moon or just randomly. So how do you actually make referrals happen? Simple. You ask for them. It sounds so obvious, but hardly any founder ever does this, and there's a right way to do it. The best time to ask is right after you've delivered a real result while the client is still buzzing about what you did. A simple question is all it takes. Something like, who else do you know dealing with the same problem I just solved for you? Just be specific. If you tell someone, let me know if anyone comes to mind, nobody ever does because you're giving them nothing to picture. Name a specific kind of person instead, like another founder stuck on the same exact thing that you just fixed for them, and you give them something real to search their memory for. That's usually when an actual name comes out. The last piece is to make it automatic. Build the ask into how you finish every project, so it's just part of the job and not something you only remember every now and then. These are the warmest leads you will ever get. Don't leave them sitting on the table. One last thing before we move on, because people often lump this with referrals, we need to talk about reviews. They are not quite the same as referrals, but they come from the same goodwill. The difference is that a review does its work out in the open. A happy client says a few good words where anyone can see them, and from then on, those words vouch for you to every stranger who looks you up before they buy from you. So at the same happy moment when you ask for a referral, ask for a quick review too. It costs the client absolutely nothing. And unlike a referral, a review keeps working long after the conversation is over. Build authority so leads come to you. Outreach and referrals are very powerful, but both of them still depend on you doing the chasing. Authority is what flips that around. When you become known for what you do, the right people start coming to you already warm and already half convinced. When you show up consistently and teach what you actually know, something changes in how people see you. The people that follow you start to see you as the expert who really understands their problem. So when they are finally ready to buy, you are literally the first person they think of, and often the only one. They come straight to you without even shopping around or haggling for the price. Daniel Priestley has written 2 books that maps this out very well. In Key Person of Influence, it makes the case for becoming the go-to name in your field. And in Oversubscribed, it shows how that kind of authority, when built properly, creates more demand than you can handle, to the point where clients compete to work with you. So how do you actually build that authority? It's simple. You answer questions. This is the heart of the book by Marcus Sheridan called They Ask, You Answer. Its advice is to relentlessly answer the real questions your buyers are already asking, the practical, specific things they want to know before they hand over any money. You answer those openly in your content, and every answer makes the person reading it trust you a little bit more before they've even spoken to you. I'll be honest, this is the slowest of the 4. It took me many years of consistent posting before my audience was big enough for me to really feel it's bringing clients in, but it lasts the longest and it quietly lift everything else that you do. Your outreach tends to land better because people have already heard about you. Referrals convert faster because you are now a known name, and your ads work harder because there's trust waiting on the other side of the click. If you build it for long enough, you will reach the point every founder is chasing, where you stop hunting for leads because they start coming to you. Why paid ads are worth the investment. I've saved paid ads for its own chapter on purpose because it's the one method that costs real money, and it deserves an honest conversation instead of being lumped in with everything else. Let me say the uncomfortable part first. Ads are investments. And I know that for a lot of founders, spending money that you're not guaranteed to get back is genuinely frightening, especially when cash is tight. The fear is fair. And I'm not here to talk you into risking money you can't even afford to lose. But if you do have the means, paid ads belong near the top of your list because nothing else comes close on speed and control. Why ads beat every other channel on speed? What makes ads different from every other channel is speed. The others all make you wait, whether it's a month of posting content consistently, referrals that only come in once you have a happy client, or outreach that's capped by how many people you can personally reach. Ads have none of these limits. If your ads are working, you put money in today, you have more clients tomorrow. I felt this for the first time running my e-commerce business many years ago. I could put money in one end and reliably pull paying customers out of the other. And for the first time, growth was a dial I could turn whenever I wanted to, instead of something I sat and just hoped for. These days, Google Ads is still how I bring most clients into my business for that exact same reason. It's the one channel I can turn up or down whenever I want to. I still keep organic content going alongside it, even when the views are very low or very small. That keeps me from depending on any single channel at any one point in time. And honestly, a handful of the right people seeing my content is all I need to sign a few more clients every single month. You need to treat ad spend as an investment. The thing that scares people about ads is simple. It's money leaving your account with no promise that it's going to come back. But that fear only lasts until you start measuring properly. The number to watch is your return on ad spend, or ROAS. ROAS. It just means for every pound that you spend on ads, how many pounds come back as sales. Say you spend £1,000 on ads and you get 3,000 back. That's a ROAS of 3. Once you know the number, you can spend on ads intentionally based on pure data. If you put in £1 and get 3 back, every single bone in your body should be asking how to put in more. The way to find that number is safely to start small. Put in a budget you wouldn't lose sleep over. See whether that money comes back and scale it once you know how it does. And if you don't have the budget for ads yet, that's fine. Use the other free channels first, make some profit, then feed a slice of that profit into ads. Ads aren't where everyone starts, but once you get a bit of money to test with, they are the fastest way to grow your business. Match the platform to how people buy. If you do run ads, the most important call you will make is which platform to put your money on. Broadly, there are 2 kinds. The first type is intent platforms, which are very popular, mainly Google and other search engines. People go to Google when they already know they have a problem and they type in exactly what they're after. They are already looking to buy, so all you have to do is be the option that they pick. The second type is social platform like Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube. People are not there looking for your service. They are scrolling to pass time. So you have to earn their attention first and build up the interest before they even think about buying from you. I've run ads on all of them: Facebook, Instagram, Google, Amazon. It works exactly like that every single time. So the rule is simple. If people already search for what you sell, put your money into Google. If they don't even know they need you yet, you will do better building demand on socials. Match the platform to how your customers actually buy and your budget goes a lot further. Volume and consistency win. Whichever channel you end up choosing, there's one thing that decides whether any of it actually works, and it's the least exciting part of all of this that I've been talking about. You simply have to keep doing it consistently, especially when you're busy. If you think back at why leads and client flow are so up and down for most founders, it's because they just stopped doing the work required to bring them in. As we've already seen, it's so easy to land some clients, get busy delivering, and let the ongoing lead generation slide. To break that cycle, you have to keep going and you have to do enough of it. Lead generation is a numbers game. The more people that you reach, the more clients that you can get. And the only way you can keep reaching people is to keep showing up week after week. Most founders that I've worked with tend to do the opposite. They do a little in a quick burst, then they stop. Then it doesn't work straight away. Then they just give up again, having never really put enough in to give it a fair shot. Please do not stop and don't do too little. Even when you're too busy, keep putting yourself in front of enough new people every single week. It doesn't need to be much. A steady flow of outreach or content kept up week after week will always beat one single push every few months there and there. And when you're reaching enough people, getting one no doesn't really matter much. So make lead generation a regular habit for yourself, a set part of your week. Do that and you stop riding the highs and the lows in your business, and your client flow finally smooths out and become a repeatable process. Measure your lead generation. If you want lead generation to be a real system, you have to keep track of it. Most founders don't track anything, so they never really know what's working. It doesn't even have to be complicated. There are only 3 things that are worth tracking. The first is where your clients come from, so you know which channel is actually working for you. The second is how many leads each channel brings in and roughly what it costs you to get them. And the third is how much lead generation you actually do every single week. Things like how many messages you send and how much content you put out there to the world. The third one, putting content out there to the world, is probably the most useful. And here's why. Your new clients this month came from the work that you did a few weeks ago, right? So your activity today is a preview of how busy you're going to be in a month or 2 time. If you can see your activity dropping off, you can do something about it before the quiet months eventually arrives and then you have no money in the bank. That's the whole reason to measure, to catch problems way early while you can still fix them. You don't need anything fancy though. As long as you're tracking these few numbers, you will always know what's working and what to do next instead of always guessing. Make it a system. Let's bring all of this together because none of it actually works as a one-off. It only works when you run it as a system, the same steps every single week like clockwork. Here's the whole thing from start to finish. It begins with getting clear on exactly who you help and the one problem that you solve for them. Once you know that, you pick 1 or 2 of the 4 channels that suit your business and you go deep on them rather than spreading yourself thin. Then you lead with value before you ask for anything so people learn to trust you. You ask for referrals on purpose at the moment a client is happiest instead of leaving your warmest channel to lock. You build up your authority over time so the right people start coming to you. And if you've got the budget, you add paid ads to grow faster, spending carefully once you know what each pound or dollar brings back to you. Then 2 things keep the whole system reliable: consistency and measurement. You keep doing it every single week, even when you are flat out with client work, and you track a few simple numbers. So if your weekly activity starts to slip, you notice straight away and you can fix it before it becomes a quiet month and a bigger problem down the line. This is what protects you from the trap that we started with. If all your clients come from one source, you are always one bad month away from nothing. But with a system running across a few channels you understand and measure, you simply don't run out because there's always something coming in. Your lead generation will be your own, shaped by your own business, your buyers, and the channels that you choose. What works for another founder won't necessarily work for you. So build the version that fits your business and just keep running it. And get it right, and you finally stop having to ask the most stressful question in business. Where is my next client coming from, please? Here's what to do next. You don't have to do all of this at once. The whole point is to start somewhere. So here are 5 things you can do this week to get you going. Number 1, get clear on exactly who you help. Write down in 1 sentence who they are and the one problem that you can solve for them. Specific enough that the right person would feel that you're talking directly to them. Get this right and everything else gets a lot easier. Number 2, choose 1 channel. From the 4 ways: warm outreach, cold outreach, content, or paid ads, pick the single one that fits where your buyer already are and that you can be consistent with. Commit to it for the next 90 days instead of dabbling in all 4. Number 3, turn on your warmest channel. If you can, pick 3 to 5 happy past or current clients and ask each of them specifically if they know one other person dealing with the same problem that you solved for them. Number 4, Give your lead generation a rhythm. Give it a heartbeat. Block a recurring slot in your diary, even 30 minutes, to do nothing but generate leads on your chosen channel. Then just keep it, especially in the weeks that you're busy. And finally, if you have the means, test paid ads. Pick the platform that matches how your clients buy, intend, or demand creation. Set a budget that you can afford to lose. Then judge it on the return, not on likes. Download my app, Ashayi, to help you track your lead generation and other systems your business runs on. It's an AI coaching app that shows you exactly which system is dragging the rest of your business down and what to fix first. It's free on iOS with a free trial, so you can see your scores before you even commit to a subscription. Never running out of clients and leads comes down to one thing: building a simple system that brings the right people to you and keep it running. You're already good at the work that you do. What's missing is a reliable way to get enough of the right people to find you, and that's what this system gives you. So please go ahead and build it. Thank you for sticking to the end. If this was useful, subscribe. I've got more of this coming and you won't want to miss them. Give it a like so it reaches another founder that's currently stuck on a client roller coaster. Tell me in the comments which channel that you're committed to this week. I read all the comments. I'll see you next time.